Howdy, bud.
Ah,
Hey, what do you want to talk about?
you fucking idiot, dude.
So, dude, ready for this is cool. So I came from the gym today. Boot boot, muscle inc. We broke 500 fucking member. Like today, we're over. We were at like almost 500 this morning, and
Yeah.
we fucking surpassed that by a mile today so far, which is crazy.
Guys,
So
is the
we're
gym
already.
profiting now?
Excuse me.
Is the gym profiting?
Believe it or not, it's been profiting since the first month.
Oh, good shit.
Yeah, we've been in the green. Yeah, so we got over 500 members. Really been open since April 1st because our grand opening was
Are you guys gonna cap
March.
it at a certain number or?
I mean, I would like to see the gym at like 2,500 to 3,000, like members. I think that's a fair number. I'm
Yeah.
hoping by what we're in July, August. I would hope by the time school starts, we're pushing that 1,000 mark. That would make me happy. Um, there was a gym down the street, which I just found out today is actually going out of business, which is crazy because that was like one of the competitors in the area, and we got wind that they're closing down, and then I got confirmation. I won't say how, but I got definitive confirmation that they are closing. So that's going to obviously give us an influx of members.
Is
So
it is
that's
it is it is it the gym you talk about?
no, 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 no,
Okay.
no. No, no, that gym that you're talking about, Pat at Bethlehem Powerhouse. Me and him actually me and him are cool. He's a good dude.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's actually a gym that like I want to like I don't want him to go out of business, and he won't because his gym's awesome. But I
Okay.
want him to. He's been a good dude and a supporter of what I've been doing this whole time. So it's been a cool thing. But yeah, man, it was cool to see. It was cool to see walking into the gym and like walking around the corner and going like, holy shit, like there's fucking a lot of people here working out. Like it was
That's
just
dope,
like,
right?
yeah, man, it really put a smile on because I was like, man, like, like me, Bobby, and Mike, I'm like, we did like we literally did this with our fucking hands. Like we were here pulling shit, pasting, painting, ripping carpets up, flooring down, fucking tin, this, that, hanging signs. Like we did a lot of fucking work to that gym, dude.
Yeah.
It's crazy what it used to look like versus what it looks like
It's
fucking
an old retro, bro.
dude. And somebody came into they're like, why didn't you keep that equipment? They were like, red and
It was
yellow. It's like
shit.
they go, it's like Hulk Hogan colors. And I was like, you think Hulk Hogan when you see yellow and red? I said, I see motherfucking McDonald's. It's
Yeah,
the
not
only
Hulk
thing that I
Hogan.
see. Like, what's the first thing that comes to your mind when you see red and yellow? Honestly, yellow and red and yellow, either mustard and ketchup or retro fitness, like or McDonald's.
McDonald's, yeah.
You know,
That's true too.
did did you ever have any aspirations for possibly one day owning a gym,
Not really, man. I'll be honest. I mean, I would if I did, it would be like for me and nobody else.
like a personal training studio?
Yeah, and I would just let like people in that I like.
So making no money, zero profit.
I wouldn't build it for profit.
That's what I'm
It
saying.
would,
Just let everybody in. You
yeah,
make
it
no
would just
money.
be
Just
like my little getaway. And if I don't like you, you're not part of my getaway.
okay. So then, if you could pick, okay, so it's in let's say like the bodybuilding fitness arena. If you could pick one thing you'd want to do within that kind of industry, what would it be? Like post, let's just call it post bodybuilding. If bodybuilding, if you couldn't bodybuild anymore, what would be something that you would want to keep you around this this fitness industry, fitness vertical?
Um, I
Like think
would
about your
honestly,
sponsors and like what you have and like different, like whether it's gym equipment, whether it's supplements, like just think of like that
I would
broad
probably
spectrum
want to have my
supplement
own
store.
sup line, to be honest. Even though that's already, filled to the brim with lines everywhere. I always was interested in having my own line.
Did you hear those, the Tren Twins started their line and it like blew up?
Yeah, I don't even know how to say what it's called.
I don't even know the name of it, but I mean, hey, listen,
Starts with an F.
really? Starts with an F, fuck?
Yeah, just Google it. Google
Hold
it.
on.
Tren Twins.
Yeah. Uh,
No, not huge, bro.
like a pro.
Just go on
Correct.
there. Maybe go on their Instagram. Yeah, yeah.
I'm going, I'm going, I'm going, going. Boop, 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 boop.
Feral.
What?
It's called Feral.
Farrell, you couldn't say that?
Just sit me off the top of the dome.
Farrell Sups. Okay.
I don't even know what that means.
Feral. Like a feral pig? Like a wild fucking dog? Like a wolf? Is that like another name for a
Yeah,
wolf?
it's a dog.
Huh.
I never heard of that though. I'll be honest.
Are these guys from Jersey?
Yeah,
They
yeah,
are, right?
I think so. Yeah, they're actually gonna move to Florida.
Really?
Yeah, I was talking to one because they're both preparing for shows, and the one was he made like a post on how hard the prep is, and I said stop being a pussy on one of his comments.
I mean, they got pretty good fucking
Or
physiques.
I said grow a pair of balls and embrace the suck, and I got like 1,000 likes.
And they're brothers, right? These guys?
Yeah, they're twins.
Well, they
That's
really
why
don't
they're
look
called.
like,
That's why they're called Tren Twins.
well, they could be brothers and just be call themselves Tren Twins because they're brothers. But
I would never call my brother a Tren twin unless he was my twin.
do you know their backstory, like how they got started?
I think they
I,
just started making content, to be honest.
I
And
don't
it
know.
just
I'm genuinely asking. Like I have
no,
no clue.
I think they just started acting like the way they act, and it just blew up, and they called themselves Tren Twins.
I act like a dick. People want to fucking stab me in the chest and murder me. They act like little douches sometimes, and people fucking love them. I don't understand what I did wrong. Where do you think the Tren Twins came from? Were they big on talking about gear? Because
No,
you always make fun of me. And can you
no,
let the general population know about my lack of knowledge when it comes to things on social media? Because you said it, you brought up the other day because you
no
got mad and
zero.
you're, huh?
Zero of knowledge of social media. You don't
Because
pay
I don't pay
attention to
attention.
Billy Dick. And whenever I call you about something, you're like, "Oh, really? I didn't even know."
Is that how I say?
Yeah,
Is it how it sounds?
yeah. Oh,
Is that,
oh, I'm sorry. Oh, really?
this is how you answer the phone. You're like ring, ring. It's like a mix of yo and hello. Yeah,
Yeah,
what's that? Yeah. That's like your first three words out of your mouth. Yeah. It's
yeah.
man.
That's pretty accurate.
Oh my gosh. Hey, listen. I know you like the back of my hand. So 13 weeks. Doom, doom, doom.
Yeah, tomorrow actually it'll be 13 weeks.
And I talked to you the other day. Didn't you have a motherfucking like a barbecue or a Italian dinner cooked chicken parm?
Yeah, I
Fucking
went to Matt's house for his birthday, and he said I can eat. And Jordan cooked up a nice chicken parm.
she make them dare cookies.
She did make the cookies.
Did your palate happen to pass by some of the flavor combos?
Passed by quite a few flavor combos. Cookies and ice cream.
So good. Her cookies are
Yeah,
to die
no,
for.
it was good. And I mean, I gained a pound off that, so.
Yeah. You have another cheat meal coming up this weekend?
I don't know until I send check-ins. That's normally how it goes.
And you send them when? Is it Saturday, Friday?
Tomorrow.
Okay,
Tomorrow.
cool.
I'll drive to the gym. Tomorrow's my off day, so I'll just drive to the gym, take photos and send them, and he'll.
So I'm surprised how anal you are. The fact that you're that close to Matt and you still send photos. Is that just to have documentation of it?
Yeah, I mean, as we get closer, you also gotta remember too, he sees me all the time. So
Yeah.
like I just saw him today, so he has an idea, but he still wants pictures just for himself, just to kind of look back on as well. Because even when I lived in Florida before, I still sent photos every morning. And if like it would just be an eye for him to say, okay, he looked like this morning, this is what he looked like the following week. Because like, yeah, he sees me every day, right? But sometimes, you might be like, okay, I need to go back and maybe see what's going on. So every now, like even when I saw him every day, every morning almost, like when I did the Olympias and the Arnolds when I used to live here, we still took photos as I was posing in front of him.
Really?
Yeah. He
Um,
likes he likes to document everything. He likes to look back and especially for like the following year, he'd like this is what you look like 4 weeks out from Olympia versus what you look like right now 4 weeks out from Olympia.
yeah. So
He likes
it's crazy because you look so good, right? You've looked so good since the New York Pro.
yeah.
It's crazy how you because you haven't gained dramatically any negative weight. If you gained any weight, it's
No, I
helped your
get I get I
physique,
definitely put
right?
on some water weight, but like that's really about it.
So it, it it would surprise me if there was a lot of changes week to week right now. Has it been pretty status quo? Because I don't see like
Still
where is
some.
there gonna improvement
Like
gonna
you can
come?
you
Like
can tell in my back is more watery now. But that's about it. Like I don't think I'm accumulating a lot of fat by any means. I just think it's more water than anything. So
so so would is it fair to say that for pretty much this entire O prep, this is just gonna be a cruising prep for you?
I'm not
There's gonna be
saying
no dramatic.
anything because last time I said those words, it wasn't, and it didn't turn out that way.
Really?
Yeah, so I'm not gonna say those words.
For what show? Oh, you talking
I
about because
thought
what happened to your hamstring?
no, I thought it was gonna be easy for the Arnold. I thought it was gonna be a breeze for the New York show, and I mean it got rough.
Yeah, but weren't all those shows where you started fresh, you weren't already rolling through a prep with all the ones you just mentioned?
Well, the New York, I was fresh. I mean, it was more fresher than that for the Arnold.
Yeah, but you didn't I wouldn't say you were fresh. It was the Olympia, then you did the New York.
Yeah, but I didn't do anything for like 3 months.
Ye- Oh, yeah. No, okay.
Yeah.
But that's different than having a 6 months off the season. You know what I'm saying? That's my point.
Oh, for
Because you weren't
sure.
like that wasn't like an Arnold to the fucking March, April, May, June, July, August. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Like it
I
was
thought the Arnold would have been more of a breeze because I was pretty much, damn near in shape. So I didn't really think, we had anything to do, but we it got pretty low, that's for sure.
do you try or is it just how your body is now? Do you try to stay it like you know how Sean stayed a lot leaner this year because of the size you put on over, let's say, the past 4 or 5 years? Do you find yourself were you always obviously we all know you're super strict, but were you always this strict in the off season? Because it seems like now you're trying to control your
If you
weight.
want me to be honest with you,
No lie, please.
I eat more shit now than I did when I was younger.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you more lenient now? Like you have your off season diet, your off
I'm
season.
not lenient, but like if I go out to eat once a week, I eat. But even when I was younger, I never went out to eat at all. Like it was a no-go. Now, like I do it and I don't mind it and I stay leaner, but I also think it comes with age too, right? I think when you get older, the muscle maturity, like I do believe the older you get, the harder it is to put fat on as long as you're, doing what you're supposed to do. When you're
Yeah.
younger, I feel like it's still relatively easy to put fat on versus as you get older. And I think, almost being 30, I think my body is entering that maturity stage, the muscle maturity stage, and shit just stays leaner now. But
We use,
but I do try to stay lean, yes. But I'm also
you and
not
I,
afraid to eat if Matt's like, yeah, go eat, bro. Like, okay. And I'll go eat.
it's, me and you have talked about, remember like when you were talking about, bro, you gotta like put, put some weight on. And I was like, dude, do you know how much I was like every other day I'm binging at night to keep my weight because I'll like step on the scale and be, fuck, I'm so light. And then I'll
Yeah.
go like slam calories. Like, and dude, if I was younger, if I did that, I would have fucking blown up like a fat fuck.
Really?
And
Yeah, well,
it's
yeah, see, that's the thing.
age, absolutely. Like I don't know if it's eventually going to slow down, but I almost
Well, you're
think
like
that my
what,
metabolism
42,
was
guy?
slower. Yeah, but I'm saying I think my metabolism was slower when I was younger because I
It's gotten
couldn't.
faster with your age.
It's crazy. It really has, dude. Like,
I think I
and
think you need some
that's,
GA still.
I don't know what that's from. I mean, nobody. Nobody in my family's overweight. My mom's not overweight. My dad's in great shape. My sister's in great shape. My brother's in,
Yeah,
he's
but
got,
guy, I also think you don't eat now. So like when you do binge, your body just burns through it all.
yeah. I
Because
eat,
you also got to put in perspective, you're very active.
yeah,
So I do feel that one time you binge, your body's like, oh, what the fuck is this? And it burns through it all.
yeah, yeah. But I was doing that a couple times a week, dude. I wasn't just doing that once a week.
Well, must be nice. I couldn't do that more a couple times a week, unless it
You,
was like some show or something.
so you're scheduled, you're in an off season, you're scheduled cheat meal once a week. You won't add in another, like if you're out somewhere, you're like, fuck it, I'm just gonna have a burger.
If I'm in, okay, so for example, if I'm in the off season, not in prep, it'll be a little different. But like for example, when we were down for the the Raw grand opening, I ate out every day, but
Okay, wow.
I made sure the food was clean though.
So clean to you is, give me an example, like where you went, what you got.
So like for example, the Friday night when we went to that one restaurant, I don't remember what it was
Yes.
called, but I got a steak. I asked them, do not cook in oil, butter, nothing, completely plain, and
Yep.
I got the plain rice. I didn't get dessert that night, nothing.
Are you
I,
somebody that
I
brings your scale with you too, or no? You kind of
no
just
no
know,
no,
like,
I'm not gonna do all that.
yeah.
I'm not. I'm definitely strict to the core, but I'm not gonna look like a Fruit Loop bringing my fucking scale to dinner.
Listen, if your scale is near your home and you weigh your food, like
You can eyeball it.
absolutely
I feel like at a
okay.
point you should know.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you're out in public and you don't know what roundabout, like, dude, when I make my dog's food, right? I weigh their food, their protein, because I want to make sure I'm not over
Well,
feeding my
yeah.
dogs, right? So I will weigh it. But when I take meat out, I look at it and I'm always like, that's probably about 8.5 ounces. That's
Well,
probably nine
sure.
ounces. And I see it, and most of the time I'm at maybe, a quarter to a half an ounce off. If you can't, after being a bodybuilder for so long and weighing your
You
food,
should
if
be
you,
able to eyeball it, and if you're a gram or two off here and there, I mean, it is what it is. But you should be able to eyeball what's what. Like if I go out to eat and I get a steak, and it's like this fucking big, I should probably get another one. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like, or if I get a steak, and it's this long, I think I'm good.
Yeah. You know who eats for a retired bodybuilder? You know who eats probably the most food? And and part of me wanted to say Jay, but for a fact, he eats more fucking food.
The brand?
Yeah. Branch Warren eats more food. He is so consistent with food to the point where like if we're hanging out and like it's been over like 2.5, 3 hours and he hasn't ate, he'll be like, bro, come on, we gotta go somewhere, we gotta get something to fucking eat. And
I'm
like
like that.
if he misses a meal, like when we were in Sweden together, we would eat like 3 times a day, and he's like used to eating five or six. Bro, he would order a burger, fries, and then steak and potatoes and eat 2 meals and like with no problem. And then be like, I could have had another one of those.
I could do that.
I'm
I
like,
don't
dude,
do it, but I
where?
could do it.
I'm like, dude, if I do that, like like, fuck, dude. I'll be full for like at least 10 hours.
For me, like when I go out to eat and I eat, I get hungrier.
Yeah, but there's a point where I'm just like, I'm stuffed.
I don't, it's,
And actually, you know what? It depends on the kind of food. How's that?
that too, but it's hard for me to get to that point now.
And you're
Because
not
I
a
feel like I
sushi guy,
don't,
right?
fuck, that's gross. No. Hell no. Hell to the nizzle.
I can't believe you know that's crazy to me.
Fucking
That's like
gross.
that's like if you work out, you have to like sushi. It's like it's in the handbook.
Well, it's like saying, if you do a contest prep, you gotta eat fish when you're 6 weeks out. Get the fuck out of here, you
It's
know?
like saying if you did a bodybuilding show, you're a coach.
I got nothing after that one. I did one show. I'm taking on clients now.
Oh God, dude.
It's what it
And you
is.
and
Your first
you
show,
know,
amateur, get dead last. Taking on clients. Okay, bro.
but this is the crazy part. We make fun of those people, right?
Yeah.
But who's the
But they're
dumb
but
one?
they're the one getting all the clients.
So that's my so is it they're the dumb one or is it their fucking clients that are dumb? Because in my eyes, if you've done
Both.
one show and you sucked as a bodybuilder and now you're a coach, but you're doing like 10, 20 grand a month in fucking online clients, I'm like, well, you sucked as a competitor, but you got to be pretty good as a marketer if you're making that much money and your fucking clients got to be really like, have you ever just worked with somebody that had no credentials, didn't know a fuck like be honest, like I can tell you who I
A coach?
first helped, huh?
Like,
And
have I worked with a coach
have you it
that had
doesn't have to
no
be a
credentials?
coach, but it has it have you ever worked with anybody that really shouldn't have been giving you advice?
I, I, no, because I feel like even like my first two coaches, like they were known as the coaches in the town.
Who are you two are there names that are like still around the industry?
No, not really.
Okay.
They were like when I trained, in Jersey at it was called Extreme Fitness. It was like a small, like family owned, like it was like the hardcore gym around. But the first two that I used, they were just really good within the area, and
Okay.
whenever they had a client in the show, they look good. So
So they
I
were
used,
coaches and they had and you had
yeah, they
physical
had
yeah,
experience. So
you
I'm
had
like, I'll
evidence
use
that they
them.
were good.
But I've never used somebody that I knew nothing of, or there was no proof of, how they look or
Yeah.
anything.
Yep. So who was your first coach ever? Unless you don't want to say your
No, his
first
name was Kev. His name was Kevin.
amateur bodybuilder ever turned pro, just a coach, older guy,
Amateur,
younger guy.
amateur, amateur. Yeah, he
How'd
would
you
get.
link up?
He didn't have the like a crazy like size per se, but he got peeled. He knew how to get
Do you keep in
peeled.
touch with him?
I have not. I don't talk to him at
Oh
all.
wow. Oh okay. Yeah.
And
And
then I
who
worked
was
with a
the per?
guy. Well, then I worked with a guy Ken. He was good. I worked with him for a few years, and then after him, I went to Jeff Long for a couple years.
Okay. Who instilled the way you are in but like your who how did you where did that obviously you can say like well my mom my dad but with bodybuilding where did like who did you pick up like all right that I need that mindset I need
Jay,
to have this mindset to get there
Jay.
really
Yeah, like none of my coaches instilled it. Like I would just watch, as corny as it sounds, I watched every Jay Cutler video, and I watched how he trained. I listened to a lot of things that he said. I would see how much food he was eating, and I'm like, that's what I got to become to get to where I want to be.
what's something that resonated with you that Jay did that you were like
It
that's
was it
me
was the one video where he was like, I basically live in a box, and all I do is eat, sleep, and train, and and that's just pretty. I've lived with that quote since I started
yeah
because
Very-
and here's the thing, right? Like, yeah, we can all say balance is balance. You can have a life, and I believe you can. I've done it. I think it's very feasible. I think it's very possible. But at the end of the day, the reality is when you're so, stuck on, your goal as a bodybuilder to be the best, you're gonna limit everything.
Yeah,
And you're just gonna eat, sleep, and train, and that's it.
yeah.
And that's just what it
Um,
is.
the two things about Jay that I remember watching. Do you remember the one clip when he's sitting at his kitchen table and he's eating fucking, I think it's chicken and rice, and it looks like he's got like 20 fucking rice cakes in front of him. And he's like
Yeah.
eating fork. He's eating with a fork with one hand. And then
Yep.
in between chews of food, he's eating rice cakes. And
Yep.
he was like, yeah, people ask me what like KFC is like. And he's like, I don't really know because I've never had it. Because I feel like if I've never had it, I can't want it. So if I don't want it, I don't know what it's like. And
Yeah.
it's like Jesus, man. Like he really just is like this.
Well, that's why
And then
people always ask me. They're like, are you okay if I eat this in front of you? Like, is this? I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Like,
doesn't affect you like that.
no, honestly, no. I love food. I'm a foodie. Deep down, especially sweets. I love sweets. But like, food will never
Favorite
leave.
sweet, favorite sweet,
That's hard,
favorite
bro.
candy,
I'm a fat kid. That's hard.
favorite candy.
Candy, I'll be honest, I'm not a candy person.
Well, what would
I'm
you?
more, I'm like cake and shit.
So what are you gonna say? Strawberry fucking shortcake from fucking cheesecake, like you say every time?
No, because it's not a cake, motherfucker. It's biscuits.
Or yeah. So what's your go-to treat? If you could have one treat for the rest of your life every night after dinner.
Jordan's cookies and ice cream.
Really, out of everything,
I
huh?
know that's not cake, so I sound like an idiot because I said cake.
You were
But
adamant about cake too.
I know. But if I had to pick, it would be her chocolate chip cookies and the oatmeal raisin cookies, and just honestly just a side of vanilla ice cream, and I'll just mix them all in and call it a day.
Do you smush them together, or would you like do? Are you? Which so hold on. This is very important. Would you smash the cookies into the ice cream into pieces and mix it together, or would you like break the cookie off and take a scoop of ice cream and a scoop of fucking cookie at the same time?
Well, what I would do is I would have them together. Here, I would have the two scoops on this side, the cookies on this side,
This
and
is so corny.
I would want to taste the cookie solo first. So I would cut a piece of the cookie with my
Taste
spoon.
test. I agree. I'm
like, oh,
there.
I'm like, that's fucking good. And then I would kind of smash it all up and mix it together.
See, I feel like I would do what you did. I would test out the cookie. I would test out the ice cream.
You got to
out,
first.
but then I would test out the ice cream, and then I think I would do a piece of the cookie, a piece of the ice cream
And then
together,
smash it.
and try that together, and then see if do they
If you
taste
didn't
better
like it, you're not
together
doing it.
or apart. And if I like them better apart, I would just keep them separate before I married them together.
That's valid, because I do know Jordan's cookies solo are just perfectly fine.
So, speaking, this is gonna make you laugh so hard. I don't even know why this popped in my head, because we're talking about like cookies and like so. This is your toilet paper. If you wipe, do you fold and then wipe, or do you just?
Crumble that motherfucker, bro.
Think about it. Just think about it. Think about just I literally there's debates on this. If you fold it or
Do
if you
you fold
crinkle
or crumble?
it, it,
I'm a crumbler. I'm a crumbler.
it depends on which if it's the first wipe or the second.
Anyway, I crumble.
If it's like if I just really let one rip, right, and I'm just cleaning, I'm just like wiping down the pipes real quick, I'll just crumble it. But if it's like the second wipe and I'm like really making sure the walls are clean, then I fold it sometimes.
I feel
But
like
I have which you should get too, you weirdo, because you enjoy this. But if you go on Amazon, it's like $99. Did you ever hear of a tushy? I think I've talked to you about it.
no, a tushy.
Yeah. Oh, dude, this is gonna change your
I thought you were gonna
lives.
say the thing that squirts the water in your butt.
Yeah, it's
A duvet, isn't it? Is that what's called?
yeah, uh, yeah. No, wait.
A duvet?
But it's
A bidet. It's a
a
bidet.
bidet. Yeah.
Duvet, bidet,
No, dude,
tomato,
you threw me off
tomato.
because duvet is a word. It's a duvet cover. That's for the fucking comforter.
What the fuck?
So you know what it
Bidet,
is.
duvet. Yeah,
You threw
yeah.
me. You
I
said
should
duvet,
get
and I
one.
was like, "Am I an
No,
idiot?" I'm like,
no,
That's definitely a word." And
that's a
I'm like,
word, but that's not that word.
I was like, "No, that covers the bed, not your butthole."
Okay. A
But yeah, dude,
bidet.
it literally, it's like it's a bidet, but it's not like a high end one. It's like I think $100. But
Yeah.
I gotta be honest, dude, I use way less toilet paper, and it's absolutely convenient. And if you have, one of those days where your stomach's a little, questionable, definitely fucking cleans it a lot better than just paper. Something to think about.
How about you use both?
I do. You got to dry your butt after you use the
Yeah,
bidet.
you bidet it, and then you make sure you got
Then I dry it.
but dry it.
That's what you need to do. Put in your cart the fucking Tushy bidet and the fucking Ninja Creamy right now.
I don't want a fucking Ninja Creamy.
You sit the next time we're together. I'm gonna find a way, whether you're at my house or wherever we are, and I'm gonna make you a Ninja Creamy, and you're gonna go. You know what, guy? Remember how I said if I could have one dessert for the rest of my life, it was Jordan's cookies and ice
And
cream?
fucking sure as that wouldn't be no damn
You're gonna
creamy.
say that's number two now.
All right, number two. Okay.
Number one is now your Ninja Creamy.
Am I gonna get it?
What do you want to finish? You want me to fucking? You want to get it finished off after your fucking dessert?
Can I get a cherry on top too?
Oh, you get some whipped cream if you want. We got that fat-free whipped cream and that Hershey zero fucking sugar, bro.
The sugar-free chocolate syrup.
Dude, I'm looking at Jay's poster. Dude, I went through my closet the other day. I had like all those old Muscle Tech DVDs with like Johnny Jackson. Remember Matt Duvall on the cover?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like all those like Chris Cormier, like that. I got so many old DVDs. I got to hook up my DVD player, and
Chris
like
is the goat.
I have every battle for the Olympia with the cover on it, the entire collection from the first one to the last one.
You know what's funny is now that like me and Chris are, I'd say a lot more friends than what we were years ago. I now pay more attention to him. I really went back and looked at his physique.
Crazy.
He had a fucking crazy physique.
People don't remember, bro. They pinned him and Ronnie as like going like back and forth. Like they were
Chris
really
Cormier was a freak, bro.
his he was on a lot of covers with Ronnie. There was a lot of talk about him beating Ronnie, Ronnie beating him.
Yeah.
And Chris, dude, Chris brought when Chris was off, which wasn't often, but when he was on, he was deadly.
Yeah.
Like it, let's pull some of
His physique is nuts.
wild. I don't, and you know what's crazy? I don't think he gets enough credit.
No, I don't. I agree.
I thought it would come up.
Chris Cormier.
Like, dude, just look at this. Like, that's impressive by itself.
It
Do
is.
you know what I'm saying? I mean, he looks incredible, dude.
He didn't he had
Like
no
how
he didn't have a striated butt though.
No, but you got to remember something. And this is a debate that like we talk about, or I've heard been talked about often. Back then, how many of those guys when Chris was competing, it wasn't until the later years where guys with the striated glutes really came into play. Think about it. Did Kevin have striated glutes?
No, none of them really did, to be honest.
That's my point. So it's
I mean,
like
I think Ronnie did, but
Ronnie absolutely did.
I mean, even Jay. I don't think Jay did till like 09.
Jay had it was weird. Jay's glutes were like granite.
They were
like
tight.
rock.
They were tight. They were rock solid, but they were like mine, bro. They didn't really have lines in them.
see this. I wish they did this, man. Like when
Look at
you're
that.
able to walk out on stage and like, you know, do an introduction. But I mean, this isn't even at his biggest, but dude,
But look at his legs though.
he's etched, peeled. Let's see who was from behind.
Yeah, he's one of my favorites now that I like had the time to really look at his shit.
Dude, and Chris trained with the best, man. Chris got fucking his ass kicked by Charles every day. And that's not easy to do day in and day out.
You know what he's told me, and he said on the internet too.
What?
He said if he trained with Dorian more, he would have had a better career.
Really?
Yeah,
Why? And what? Let's see from the, let's zoom out.
because Dorian taught him how to contract the fucking muscle.
Like, look how tight he is.
And that's what I try to, I know that's what I try to tell people now. It's not about how much you can lift. It's not about how much volume you can do. It's about what you can do with one set and how intense you can be. So I firmly believe that's because let's be honest, if volume was key, we'd be doing 1 million sets in a gym. And intensity is what is the end all be all to me. So if you can kill it in one set, why do more? What's the point?
I agree. However, did he say that? And this isn't me.
Yes.
And hold on.
Yes. Verbatim.
Okay, but I also know that Chris would, and he said it. Chris liked the party too, and like
yeah.
I've also heard Chris say. So did he say if he trained with Dorian, or did he say if he put more into training overall and took it maybe a little more serious?
Well, of course that, but he did say if he went out and trained with Dorian more often, because Dorian invited him to train a lot, he said he felt his career would have been better.
Did he not like how Charles trained them?
Bro, I don't know. I'm not like trying to pin people against each other here. I'm just
No, it's okay. Like, listen, dude, there's people's training methods that I like over others. Charles is one of the best trainers in the world.
I think Dorian is very specific, and I think Dorian was somebody that can like bring the animal out of you.
Yeah.
And I think that's just kind of what he did for him.
Yeah. Why do you think a lot of these guys don't train together the way they used to back in the day? Because if you think about it, back then, like
everyone's against each other, bro. That's why.
Okay, but back then you had like Chris, Dexter, Flex Wheeler trained together. This one trained with that one. Like they were against each other then, trying to beat each other.
But that's the thing. But that was fine then. Now I just feel like because of social media, there's more animosity between competitors now. Because God forbid I made a comment about a competitor. He took it personal. Guess what? He's not going to like me now. Back in the fucking early 90s, that didn't matter. You wouldn't hear any of this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what created a lot of separation between competitors. You know, even if I say I'm going to beat this motherfucker next weekend on stage, guess what? That motherfucker just took it sensitive and now he don't want to talk to me. If you say you're going to beat somebody or say you're going to win a show, nobody likes you now.
Isn't that crazy? It's like, what do you want me to do? Say that I'm going to beat everybody but you because
I will always give everybody their flowers if they deserve it. If I feel like if somebody's going to be that competitive, I'm going to let it be known he's going to be competitive, but I'm going to win. Like, I don't see the issue with that. If you come on here, and you're like, oh yeah, I'd be so happy if I got fit.
Happy just to be here.
Go home, bro. Like, I don't even care if you're going to get fit. Don't say it out loud. Like, come out with confidence, bro.
You don't put that out there right off fucking Jump Street.
So when people get on me, they're like, "Oh, you're an arrogant piece of shit." Why? Because I say I'm going to win and I do it. I don't understand the problem.
It's just believing in yourself is what it comes down to.
I don't talk bad about anybody on the internet, at least.
And I don't think, I think in the beginning you got faulted for that.
I did. Oh my God, dude. When I said I was going to win New York, I got my ass chewed.
This year?
No, my first one. I got my ass chewed. And then once I won that show, and then we decided to do the Arnold, I said, I'm going to win. I'm going to whoop ass in this show. I'm winning my first Arnold. Everybody got on me. Oh, but who's this fucking new guy? He hasn't done this. He hasn't done that. Blah, 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 blah. And guess what? Soon as they all oh, saw me at the show. Oh, hey, nice to see you. Yeah, nice to see you. They're like, oh, what's up, bro? The fuck out of here, man. And then I win.
Do you ever like say anything like to them like, oh, now you want to say hi?
Then I didn't, but now I do.
Oh, really?
I have no problem saying anything about anybody. Yeah, because it's like I don't like I don't obviously I don't like drama, but like if you're gonna talk shit on me, but then you're gonna act like we're all buddies, I'm gonna be like, hey, bro, like I thought I was an arrogant piece of shit.
Were you always like that? Like, were you say something? I don't, it doesn't seem like
Yeah,
you've always been like that.
I was. I just chilled out in the beginning of my career because I didn't want to like have issues with everybody, even though it just kind of turned that way anyway, just because I said I'm gonna win shows.
You're
So
like, let the
now,
chips
like,
fall where they may and see what, then I'll go from there.
yeah, so now if I know somebody's saying something, I won't be a dick. I'm like, yo,
Yeah.
fuck you. I'll just, but if they come up to me and they want to be buddy, I'll be like, yo, I heard you said this. Why are you approaching me like we're friends? I don't understand. And they're like, and a lot of times I'm just like, oh, is a joke, you know? Nah, it didn't sound like one. Like,
You know how much I would love to touch on a few people in this topic, but you know, I just out of respect, I
yeah,
won't.
yeah, you
Man,
can't. You
man,
can't.
man, man. Would I like to fucking some have
Yeah,
fucking buttholes that fucking ream them out because
of course.
fuck. Why it really like I said this to you the other day. I'm like, if we were talking about something that we were, you know, a topic that was going on, I was like, if they just fucking talked
Talk it
like
out.
men, I'm like this, none of this would, and it's just, bro, the amount of people that can't even not only talk on the phone, but can't or like won't even text it. I
I
think
know.
texting it is a complete fucking like
Well, I don't. I've learned to hate when it comes to like trying to talk shit out or solve a problem per se. I have grew a very strong hatred toward texting. I just we'll talk on the phone or we'll meet in person and we'll talk it out. And if it doesn't get resolved, then it doesn't get resolved. But texting can be misconstrued in so many different ways. It's ridiculous. You can say one thing and mean it a different way, and then this person reads it a whole nother way, and then you're like, oh, what the fuck? Like I didn't. That's not how I meant it.
the only time I find myself texting if there's a problem, it's my girlfriend. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because
That's the worst one, bro.
no, well, hear me out. I like you know me, bro. I'm very like, this is my way. This is how I'm doing it. And
Oh, I know.
you like, you know me. I am when my mind is made up, it's like you are
Made
not
up. That's
fucking
it.
swaying me. I will die on my fucking sword before my mind changes.
100%.
I will text somebody if I know they are not good with confrontation or disagreements or like I know my girl when it comes to confrontation, she fucking like she wants to run away. Like she doesn't like disagreeing, she doesn't like bickering, arguing, and if like my tone even goes up a little bit, she just doesn't like it. And she has said to me, I just I almost like cower, like I don't. So I even when I've tried to talk, it's like even when I'm calm, I feel like I'm come across like I'm aggressive.
You
Like,
are.
you know, like if you took the laugh out of what I'm saying right now, like if you couldn't see the screen, you would assume that I look like I'm fucking pissed, right?
100%.
And I don't. So I feel like when I'm on the phone, it's kind of and like for in person, like we've gotten disagreements, and it's like she doesn't even say a word. So it's like, well, that doesn't work, right? And this
Yeah.
isn't, I'm not bashing her. It's just
No,
everybody
of
has their
course.
thing. She doesn't like to argue. It's fine. But I've learned that I have to adapt to having those conversations. And it's awkward for me because if I want to have that conversation, I won't be as assertive as far as like timely manner of having the conversation. I find myself pushing it off because I know I can't do it my own way. And now I have to
Yeah.
think about how I'm going to send this text and what I'm going to say and word it the right way so I don't come across like a dick because I know I can be, you know, come across very like
Yeah.
fucking brutally honest and sound like an asshole sometimes. So I gotta make sure that's worse for me because I'd rather just be like, hello, like, what the fuck's the problem? What's going on?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
what's like, tell me what the issue is so I can either fix it, argue, or just, we can let it go. Like, like,
I feel like I become that way.
you know, but, yeah, texting causes more problems than solutions it's resolved. I truly
100%.
believe that.
100%.
Because how many
100%.
times have you gotten a text and been like, fuck, I'm not even fucking responding to you. And then like, I'll be like, she'll be like, I text you back. And I'm like, do you think I was responding to that? She's like, what? I meant it, I was being nice. And I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah.
"Ew,
Yep.
sorry about
Yep.
that." And then like, I'll read it 3 more times and go, oh, that's how she meant it. Like that kind of
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
And then
I've
they're like,
been
well,
there.
how did you not understand that I meant it the other way? I'm like, because I read it this way.
I read it a different way.
Yeah, I read it like guys where I read it the way Nick reads things, and that's how I interpreted it. And what the
Yep.
fuck, you know?
Guilty as charged on that one.
So, what's your weight at? Since we touched on it,
279.
wow, sub 280s.
Yeah, 279.
If what weight? Take your look out of it. If you're like, if you could be like, I would just wish I was that number on stage, like best physique ever. Don't have the number associate with the look. But if you thought like, what number would you be like? It'd be fucking cool to be on stage at that weight and peeled out of my mind.
260.
260.
Yeah.
So if you were, so you never have aspirations to be like 280 on stage peeled.
I feel like that would look bad. I know you said
270, 275.
don't look,
That's what I'm
but
saying. Don't go based off of passings. Like if you were your best package ever, but you could be any weight you wanted, you would be a look of 250, 260, 270, 275, 280.
I 260.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think you're ever going to be much bigger than 260 to 265 because you're not, people don't realize.
Well, and I also don't, I knowing what I know now and how, bodybuilding is, and I feel like the direction that it's going, I don't want to be any bigger, to be honest.
Yeah.
I just want to put on size in certain areas that truly, truly need it, and then just kind of refine everything else. I really don't want to be any bigger at this point. I don't feel I need to be.
That's got to be a good feeling to know you don't have to go through a stringent off season and like push food and this and that. And
Well,
like,
it's not even about pushing food.
it kind of is. That sucks.
I do love to be huge though. But I also like to feel good. And I know when I'm like, heavy as fuck, I feel like dog doo doo.
So you say I like to be huge, right? When I'm getting ready for a show, me at dieting down from 240 to 210, 207.
Little
There's
shit.
times where I'm like, fuck, man, I'm fucking feel like I'm so like I look at them, I'm like, I fucking feel so small. Do you ever look at yourself or feel like, man, I'm fucking small today?
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
That's
100%.
so the same thing that happens to me, and like obviously you're like, you're not fucking, you were never 280, obviously, but me at 240 was I was big, bro. I was big at 240.
For
So
sure. Yeah.
me at 207 is from 240 is like Jesus. But do you still feel that way being as big as you are, even though
Of
the weight
course. Like
difference is maybe
of course, and I think it's normal when I start to really, really diet down. I'm like, fuck, am I getting small? Like what the fuck? And then everyone's like, dude, really? Like, is that a joke? Like, are you fucking with us?
what do you see on your body if you look at it that like makes you think that you're small? Like, is there something
I
on
think
you
when
that
I
like
start to really diet down, I feel like my chest is the first to kind of flatten out. And I'm like, and then I'll hit like a most muscular, and I'm like, ooh, nah, I don't, something's wrong here.
yeah.
I'm like, I don't like it. I'm not digging it.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that you feel like that with the amount of muscle that you have on your frame. It just doesn't make sense to me. Like I'm
And
like
this isn't like a whatever you want to call it, but like
tooting your own horn, tooting your own horn.
yeah, but no, because some days I don't feel like I'm as big as people think. Like I don't feel that way.
Oh, you're saying it because you don't want people to be like, oh, like,
Yeah, yeah.
like you're
I don't
looking
want
for
none of
like,
that
yeah,
bullshit.
sympathy.
But like when people are like, "Oh, you're fucking huge," there's some I don't feel that way sometimes.
Yeah,
You know,
I understand
when I
it.
have like a when I'm coming out of a show a couple weeks and you got that big pump, I'm like, yeah, I'm fucking huge, bro. And then like
I'm the
there's
fucking man.
yeah, and then there's weeks where I'm like, I just don't feel it.
Is there ever time where you feel like a fat fuck? Like
Yeah,
not like I just ate a meal and I'm like, oh, I'm so full. Like, is there ever mornings you wake up and you're like, I feel like a fat fuck.
not now, to be honest. A couple years ago, yeah, but not so much now, no. So I feel like when I wake up, I'm my leanest. So I'm like, yeah, bitch.
Even in your
Yeah.
off season?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Because I don't really have an off season, man. I stay relatively lean.
When is the last time you actually like let yourself like I don't want to say let yourself go because I know you never do that, but when is the last time you like had an off season where you kind of like quote unquote blew up?
Um, I would I would say before I did the 2022 Olympia. Well, I took the whole year.
You were almost what 300 or you were?
I was.
Do you remember the
Yeah.
first time you hit 300?
It was at nighttime, yeah, and it was at Matt's house.
When's the first time you hit 300 in the morning? Did you ever?
Yeah, yeah. When I did that the off season before I started that prep.
So when was the first time in the morning you were 300?
That off season.
2022.
Yep.
And what was your biggest off season weight as an amateur? 260?
No, I was in the 280s. No,
Really,
290s.
even as an amateur?
Yeah. Before
Really?
North Americans, yeah, yeah. Because that was when I saw 300 on the scale at night.
Do you think a lot of that back then was like baby fat? Because I think back to like my amateur days and I was 220 and dieted down to 176. And I'm like, I had to be holding way more fat because 220 when I was in my fucking 30s was not 220
Oh, for
when I was
sure.
fucking turning pro. So it's like, or when I was in my
Yeah,
20s.
100%, for sure.
Get like a lot of that baby fat.
Well, baby fat, and I
Boomer
do
fat.
think when you're younger, I think you hold water more and all that nature,
Yeah.
and that was just accumulation of it all. But now, yeah, like I said, now I have no desire to here's the thing: if I hit 300, I want it to be because I did it at a very, 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 very slow
Slow
rate.
pace.
You know what I mean? I just don't
Yeah.
want, look, no, but like now I just don't need to have those off seasons where it's like, okay, let's blow, you know what I mean? I can stay lean and still make good progress now.
And I think you're internally healthier overall when there's not that dramatic increase and decrease in weight. So the fact that
Oh,
you're
I
keeping
am.
your body mass index at more of an even keel, I think that just is going to help your longevity and health overall,
And
right?
I do think it just it does pan out for a better prep too at the same time. So
I know you don't really drink diet soda, but favorite diet soda if you had to. I know you've had your
root,
fair share.
root beer.
A and Dubs,
Ain't dubs,
my
baby.
man, my man,
I love
my
root beer.
man.
Not like a nice root beer float, my
Not
friend.
like a nice root beer for Lizzo.
I
So
like
I
it.
was looking when you were talking about people that aren't close before. I was looking at this photo. So this is a photo. That's Flex, and that's me. So before shows that we would compete against each other, there would always a certain group of guys: Flex, me,
Yeah.
Jay, David, sometimes Sean. But like it was always me, Jose, and Flex. We're always three together. We're always together, no matter backstage. Was there like, is there like a backstage ritual, routine, or like group of guys that you find yourself hanging out with, or like, is there a certain place you find yourself going to set up like your little, like when we're amateurs, I think it's a little different. When you're at the Olympia, I set up like my little camp. Like I got my chair, my fucking bag, like
Yeah,
got
I
my
got
little
my chair.
space.
I'm off to a corner by myself. I put my headphones on and I don't want to be bothered.
That's it.
That's it. And in well, not last year, but like the year before, Matt was allowed backstage, so he just chilled right by me, Sean, Charles at the time, and that was it.
You guys have any conversations back there or no?
Nah, it's pretty quiet. It's just Matt was like a little weird, I guess, weirded out for lack of a better word, because I don't pump up at all, really. So Matt was just like, "Are you gonna do anything? Like, what are we doing?" And I'm like, "No, I'm good." You know, because I really don't like to pump up, to be honest. I will as we line up, I'll start to do some push-ups, get my chest a little full, because I just feel like as I pose, I just get better and better. So I don't want to overly pump up. So I never felt the need to. And I feel like with all the posing me and Matt do all prior to peak week, I'm good.
Do you think if you went out, if you were pumped up, is your fear that you would flatten out sooner?
I don't think about that, but subconsciously
Well,
probably.
there's you have to think about something to
I
not
just
pump up.
know whenever I'm the one posing, I'm usually, knock on wood, I'm usually the only one that doesn't fade.
Or looks like he's dying, breathing heavy.
Exactly. So I keep very calm backstage. I keep it very relaxed. Like I said, right as we start to line up, I'll start to do some push-ups, and that'll kind of pump things up nicely. But as I pose, I just feel I get harder. I might even get a little fuller, and I don't stagger from a pose whatsoever. So I just don't like to change that routine.
That's crazy.
I mean, yeah, I mean, at finals, I mean, even for that Olympia 2022, I walked out full as a shipbrick house, and I didn't really pump up for that.
How do you keep yourself so calm? But like, do you get anxiety, butterflies before you go out? Like,
No,
because
because no, I
there's
don't. Because honestly, I think for me, that's where I feel the most myself. And I just feel like I don't want to say that's my home, but like that's just kind of where like I feel like this is where I belong.
your comfort. It's comforting.
I'm just very calm, and I worked my ass off to get to this point. So now it's just relax and let it roll.
What did you always have that feeling of
Yeah, even when I
calmness,
was an
even when as
amateur,
an amateur?
I liked to go on stage. I loved the pose. I loved to get the audience involved. I loved to get, everyone rowdy and put on a show. And that's just, for me, that was like the comfort zone.
Were you ever bad in front of crowds, like speaking or performing something, or
Speaking,
did you ever
yeah,
have that? What about
speaking, I
now?
was nervous. Not really. I mean, when it comes to speaking, yeah, I'll still get a little nervous, but not really. Once I
Because I've
start,
seen you speak I've seen you talk in front of a ton of people.
once I start, I'm good. I'm good. But it's just that
Yeah.
initial, all right, how we starting this?
Hey, how we doing tonight?
Yeah. How's everybody?
Let's give it up for Mr. Steve Weinberger. Jimmy,
Yeah, you just,
yeah.
once we get that rolling, it's like, all right, But I'm usually pretty good with it.
So so if you don't, okay, question. So if you don't pump up, is there anything you eat prior to going on stage, like a muffin or some sort of fast
Matt will
acting
let me
carb or?
well, yeah, before prejudging, Matt will have me do some like honey with some salt on it. Sometimes Chick-fil-A fries. The before final, sometimes I'll do like half a muffin or something.
So is your day of the show, are you more like a bird? Like you're just like, do you have meals or you kind
Bird.
of just, yeah. Are you sitting down and having like chicken and rice, steak, or you just like kind of like you
Yeah.
have like maybe one meal and then just you're picking here and there, like some
Nah,
carbs
dude, like
here?
the like for the Olympia, since prejudging's at finals, I mean we're eating all day.
Yeah, huh?
We just Matt's like I said, Matt monitors. So like we take photos every after every meal. We pose after every meal, and he just determines what I eat next. But he'll ask me, how's your stomach? How's your digestion? How's this? How's that? And I'm good. And then that'll and I think because you're eating a lot less protein. You're
Yeah.
eating like
What does
things
he
just
cut your protein down to? Like 4 ounces?
not less. It's like 100 grams sometimes. Like I don't
Oh,
know if
okay.
that's yeah.
Probably
So
like two and a half, three
and then
ounces.
once that kind of disappears, like things just kind of it just stays moving.
Yeah. Yeah, like there's guys like Jose, for example. Jose, the day of the show, would maybe have some eggs in the morning, maybe cream of rice, and then the whole day it'd be like maybe a handful of granola, maybe two rice cakes here. maybe a
Yeah,
scoop of peanut butter. Like he just picked like a bird. I call that picking like a bird. Like he's
yeah.
picking throughout the day. Pick. He's not eating meal after
Like
meal after meal.
before, like the last meal, I guess, like you say, before we leave to go to the arena, like there'll be no protein. It'll be like it'll be a lower carb meal, like we'll say 200 grams of rice. But that's when he'll give me probably, to be honest, usually my highest fat meal
Okay.
to really make sure shit just sticks and stays and doesn't move. And that's when we kind of go, and he'll look at me and be like, "Yeah, you're good. You're good. You're good." And then he's like, 20 minutes before you go out, take some honey or whatever, you know what I mean? But that's really about it.
Have you ever had like a oh shit moment with Matt where like he's looking at you and going like,
Never.
no, huh? Never had to
Nope.
like dramatically do something
Nope.
or like make a drastic change last minute or like
Nope.
fucking go left when you thought you were going right.
Nope.
Knock on
Never.
wood that you never
Yeah.
have to do that because that's
Like I guess the only like nervousness we got, right, was after New York when, we were told we
too
were,
full, Nick, too full.
yeah, when we were like, it's a 1 point game. So we're kind of like, well, what the fuck do we do? So, it was at that point where like, we both kind of, I guess, were like, yeah, what do you want to do? I just said, bro, let's just see if you know what we're doing. Like, I'm gonna go take a nap. I'm gonna stay calm. I'm gonna stay cool. We always come back better finals. You look at me, you know what they want. So you judge the food off that point, and that's what we're gonna do. Like we always do. That's it.
Yeah.
And he was like, okay. And that's just what we did. I took a nap. I woke up. We looked at me. I ate. I laid back down. We woke up. I ate another meal. Then we went down to finals, and that was really it.
And you were calm, cool, and collect. There was no issue, right? Like you didn't really
Oh, I
break
mean,
that
even when they
stress
said it
barrier.
was, it was like a 1 point difference. I said, well, what? I said, well, shit. But like, I didn't freak out. I didn't like, I was just like, well, all right, we'll just, we're gonna keep doing what we're doing.
Yeah,
If they
that's
want us to
great.
come back drier, like we know what to do. Let's just do it.
Yeah. Hopefully you never have one of those moments because you don't do a ton of shows like the way, I did it because, you were
No,
qualified
and
for the Olympia.
knock
So I
on
think
wood, I don't
that
think we ever will because we don't
there's not
change
that many
or
shows to fuck up when there's only one
no,
or
no,
two.
no. I'm saying that there's not many variables to fuck up on. That we don't have many. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? By the time I'm like 4 weeks out, there's no like no sauce product. There's no this. There's no that. It's literally what's on my food with salt and whatever water I'm supposed to drink. So there's no variables. So it's
Yeah.
very simple. You know what I mean? If something does perhaps go wrong, you know what it is.
Yep. Yep.
You know. And I think that's where a lot of
I,
people go wrong at the end. They want to go and do this shit, and they want to go and do this shit, lower this. It's to me, I just think just keep it how it is, keep it flowing, and adapt as you get closer, and let that be that.
I've said it before. Phil Heath said there was one show where I don't remember who told me it was a coach or whatever, told me to take a Viagra with Cialis the morning of the show.
That's nice.
And I'm like,
Did he have a hard on?
what?
Was he had a hard on stage?
Who?
Phil. The fuck are we
No, I
talking
said
about?
no, I said there was one show where I called him
Yeah.
because I was told to take a
Oh, you were told
Cialis
to take.
and
I
a
thought he took it.
Viagra and together. And I was just so happy. I don't know if Phil texted me good luck, but some reason I was talking to Phil and I called him. I said, dude, can I ask you a question? He's like, yeah. I'm like, I'm told to take a fucking Viagra and a Cialis. I go, would you ever take both of them together? He goes, no. He goes, he goes, I don't think I would do that. And I said, I was thinking the same thing. I said, I just wanted clarification. I go, man, I didn't know if it was something like guys that fucking Mr. Olympias do that maybe gives you more pump that I didn't know about because you mix them together. He goes, no. And he said, brother, can I give you some advice? I said, sure.
Sure.
And it was a one-liner that he said to me that I'll never forget because it resonated with me.
Yeah.
And I've said it before on podcasts. He said, if you do something that can potentially make you 2% better or 5% worse, don't do it. And I was like,
That's true.
meaning even if I got a little better, it wasn't going to be that drastic. And if it didn't go right,
It
the
could have
amount
been a
of
lot worse.
the amount of negative that would have done to my body would have probably caused me to like spill over or flat or something.
Yeah.
And it just isn't worth doing it. Right. So I mean, I was like, you know what? It's a great piece of fucking info. It really
I
is,
agree.
you know?
I agree.
Let's, I wanna recap. You wanna talk about the show that just happened that, Nathan won?
I mean, congrats.
What did you think about what did you think about how Nathan looks now compared to how Nathan looked? Cause he had that biceps fucking surgery.
I think his
You know, he
biceps look
came back from an
normal to
injury.
me.
How do you think his physique is overall?
I think he. I mean, I think he looks great.
He's
That's just
big.
me.
He's definitely big. I think I've seen him in better conditioning before,
Yeah.
but he's definitely still has his size. His one arm. I'm trying to find one of my comparison pictures. I guess buys and tries would have them, right?
Yeah.
Because I want to talk about this Amir guy that I'm very, very impressed with. And I'm looking for him. Let's find him. Oh, who's it? Let's check these out. Oh,
Yeah.
don't look so happy.
That's right. That's the new champ.
You look crazy, dude. Dude, you're fucking still grainy all through here too.
I know.
That's wild. All right, let's see. It's only two. Man, there's no really comparison pictures anymore, huh?
Nah, not really.
This kid Amir right here is
Yeah, I went against him at New
absolutely.
York.
Yeah, he wasn't his best at
No,
there,
he was
but
he was kind of
man,
shitty in New York, but he got better after every other show after that.
what do you think about
He just needs size.
what do you think about Bonac taking second? Did you agree with that?
To Nathan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think he had him size and conditioning or one more than the other?
I think Nathan had him in all.
Yeah, that's a good shot. Yeah, Nathan is got bigger and his conditioning is I think his conditioning could be a little better from where it was,
For
but
sure.
he's still this is a great package for him. Great
Yeah.
package. And
Now, now if he can go to the Olympia, I just think he needs to be tighter.
I'm wondering why Bonac did this show.
I just think Bodak is just trying to have fun
Yeah,
because I'm pretty sure he's doing Dubai too.
really.
Yeah.
Maybe he thinks he's somebody that gets better as time goes on.
That or just, after a long layoff, he's in shape. He's just like, fuck it.
But I'm gonna say this kid right here, okay? Mark my words, dude. That guy he'll be standing top 5 in the Olympia in the next 2 years.
Oh, he's
This
25 years old too.
this is absolutely fucking insanity.
It is. He just needs more size though.
Yeah, I agree, but with this conditioning just as is,
Yeah.
still puts him, I believe, at top 10 just with that conditioning.
Oh yeah,
That
he's
is
peeled.
insane.
He's peeled.
He
Like
is
that's
somebody
true.
that gets fucking absolutely ripped out of his fucking skull.
He definitely feels like shit.
Yeah. You don't look like that and feel fucking great.
Nah, he definitely his feet definitely hurt when he walks.
You know, and what's crazy is he keeps his legs so wide, but he doesn't have to because he's so big in the inner thigh that he could bring his legs together and fix his posing and still have really good legs. And I think, and I talked to him when he was in town, and I think his one leg, yes, his one leg I think is a little smaller than the other, but
Yeah.
like this doesn't do him any justice at all.
No, he's peeled. He's peeled.
You know, he's just somebody that's super impressive to me.
I
Super
agree.
impressive. I think this kid's gonna be battling in the next couple of years, man. I really do. He's fucking. I love his physique. I'm just super impressed with him, and he's such
I
a
agree.
humble. He's like 26. He's so fucking humble. It's
Yeah.
crazy. He doesn't realize how good he is yet.
He will soon.
But I have had a long day, dude. I spent my day at the gym. Fucking
Showtime.
showtime, baby. And podcast after podcast, day
I
after
know.
day. And we're
Every
still
day
fucking
now.
rocking and rolling, bro.
Damn
So
right.
we promise you guys next week, we will bring on, we'll either have one or two guests on next week. We wanted to get a few of these rocking and rolling with just me and the mutant himself. So be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and let us know. Are you a folder or are you a fucking crumbler? Or is it, what are you,
Crumbler.
crumble, cruncher? What are you, crumbler, cruncher? What would
I
you call it?
crumble. I crumble it. You crumble it.
Folder.
You fold or
Yeah.
crumble?
You fold or crumble? Leave it in the comments. We want to know. You fold, crumble, or are you a combo of the two? Mutant in the mouth. Out, bitches.
Peace.